Sometimes the greatest damage within us doesn't come from bad grades, failure, or loss. It comes from something unseen, the way we think about ourselves. And that's what happened to Eli Parker, a 17-year-old who believed that his report card was the only measure of his worth in life. Since the start of high school, Eli was known as a top student. His grades were always high, his assignments flawless, and teachers constantly praised him. But behind his calm smile, he carried a heavy pressure. He never showed to anyone. Every red mark on a test felt like a wound that stained his sense of worth. If your grades drop, all your effort is meaningless. That was the voice that kept echoing in his head. Sometimes it sounded like his teacher, sometimes his parents, but most often it was his own. Eli lived by one rule: I have to be the best. He turned down every invitation to play soccer, skipped extracurriculars, and even ignored his breaks. Fun is a waste of time, he'd say. He studied, took notes, calculated, memorized, as if every page he read was a ticket to happiness. But the harder he worked, the emptier he felt. Something was missing. He just didn't know what. One morning, when the school held a classroom cleaning contest, Eli showed no enthusiasm. To him, it was a small, meaningless task. He stayed seated at his desk, solving math problems, while his classmates painted walls and arranged flowers. When someone asked him to help, he quietly muttered, "Cleanliness doesn't count in the report card, does it?" But when the contest ended, their class lost. And for the first time, his classmates didn't blame anyone. They simply stood there, looking at him with disappointment. It was a look he couldn't forget. The days that followed seemed normal, but something had changed around Eli. His classmates began keeping their distance. They no longer called him during lunch, no longer asked for his help with assignments. And without realizing it, the once lively classroom began to feel cold and silent. At home, his mother noticed the change. She sat by his bed and spoke softly. "Son, you look tired." Not everything important in life is about grades, you know. Eli only replied shortly, "I'm fine, Mom." But the truth was, he wasn't fine at all. A few weeks later, the school announced the final exam results. Eli got the highest score as usual. Everyone clapped, but the applause felt hollow. He stared at his paper, yet his chest felt heavy. No friends beside him, no hugs, no laughter, only a sheet of paper and emptiness. That night, Eli couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling, then unlocked his phone. There he saw a message from his classmate, Mia. "Eli, you're amazing, but sometimes we just want you to talk to us, not teach us." The message was simple, but it hit deep. He realized that all this time, he hadn't just lost time, he'd lost connection. The next morning, he arrived at school early. For the first time, he put his books down and joined the others cleaning the garden. His hands got dirty, his shirt stained with soil, but strangely, he felt light. When Mia passed by and smiled, Eli smiled back. And somehow, it felt warmer than any perfect grade he'd ever earned. In the days that followed, things began to change. Eli was still diligent, but now he also laughed. He had lunch with friends, joined the student council, and volunteered at school events. He learned to listen. Not just to answer, but to understand. And slowly, he realized something important. High grades had never made him truly happy, but feeling accepted, connected, and meaningful to others, that was what he had been searching for. Months later, his mother fell ill and was hospitalized from exhaustion. Eli visited her every afternoon after school. One night, while holding his hand, his mother said gently, "I'm proud of you, not because of your grades, but because you finally learned how to live." Those words sank deep, warm yet painful. He realized how many small things he had ignored all this time. A greeting, a laugh, a thank you, a hug. After his mother recovered, Eli brought a small piece of paper into his room. On it, he wrote, "I don't want to live just to prove something. I want to live to experience something." He pinned it above his desk, not as motivation, but as a reminder. Years passed. Eli graduated, went to college, and carried his new habits with him. Greeting others, listening, appreciating time, and letting go of the obsession with perfection. He learned that a broken mindset isn't always visible. Sometimes it hides behind ambition, achievement, or praise. But when you stop for a moment and look deeper, you start to find a more human version of yourself. Sometimes we don't realize we're imprisoning ourselves with our own thoughts. We think life is about being the best, but it's much more beautiful when we simply learn to be. Failure isn't the end, and perfection isn't the goal. What truly matters is how we treat ourselves and the people who walk beside us along the way. Because in truth, what we need to restore is not our grades, not our reputation, but the way we see life. Sometimes we don't need to fix the world, we just need to fix the way we see it. If Eli's story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments below. What mindset do you want to change within yourself? And don't forget to stay tuned for more reflective stories only on Tales by Theo.